Hi guys, I hope you're having a great day today. Let's get some message cards from your person and see what they want you to know right now. Okay, so the first one we have is the thought of explaining myself and apologizing scares me. I don't want to see the pain I've caused in your eyes. So it feels like this is somebody that you are in no contact with who has been keeping tabs on you. They are admiring your personal growth and expansion, some kind of glow up that you have gone through recently that really has them very impressed. There's a sense that they had underestimated certain things that you had gone through in your life that had created a certain level of resilience within you that has equipped you to process the circumstance with them in a way in which, even if you're hurting, even if you've needed to kind of like do some shadow work, do some deep emotional healing, you're still showing up in a very radiant energy for your responsibilities in life, for other people. You in some way have alchemized hurt and disappointment from them or from other things that have happened in your reality, and you've used this as a portal to becoming a better version of yourself. And so it feels like this is someone who's out in the cold right now, but they do want to come in closer. They want to come back into your reality, but there's almost a sense of like, I don't know how to approach you now because you are so different from how you were before. And we also have, I was in denial. So it feels like this person might have pushed you away because there was a sense of them feeling like you are the person that is meant for me. But in order for us to align fully, I got to release certain habits, certain behaviors, certain mindsets, certain people in my reality that would only be a hindrance to the two of us not falling in love, but rising into love with one another. And it feels like that step into the unknown, just like coming into your arms and the two of you, kind of moving on into your best life with one another, that brought up a lot of deep-seated fears within them, fears of the unknown on a very primal level that caused them to almost feel like, I don't know if I have what it takes to kind of go the distance with you in a long-term sense. I don't know if this is something where I'd be getting in over my head. I don't know if I'm equipped for all of the changes that would be required, the things I would need to leave behind, or even changes inside of them for the better that felt very threatening to their ego in the past. And so it's almost like you've continued forth in your life without them. And you've shown them through you being a living example that, yeah, change is scary, but on the other side of that process of shedding and loss, there is the ability to have growth and rebirth. And so this is somebody who's very inspired to start to do the work, to start to take steps towards you, and may even be in the process of shedding certain things from their reality in order to come closer to you with an apology, almost in the form of like changed behavior or a changed version of themselves. They also say, I'm so attracted to you. You don't know what you do to me. So this is someone that feels like you only get finer with age. You might have had your ups and downs in life, but you have come out strong. You've come out kicking. You've come out very powerful. And so whatever kind of like chemistry, whatever animal magnetism existed between the two of you in the past, there's almost like aspects within this person on like a spiritual level, on an emotional level, on an energetic level, and on a physical level that are really attracted to this version of you. So this is kind of like make or break it time. Like if they are sort of waiting in the wings of your reality, they're watching you go through this personal transformation and really embody that better version of yourself, a lot of self-acceptance. Again, the energy of a glow up. There's a sense of like, I need to kind of get with the program. I need to sort of pick up the pace. I can't just sit here as an observer forever. I'm going to be locked into that timeline. That'll be my lived reality, and you're going to go on and live your best life with someone else, or you're going to embrace your solitude and live your best life on your own. And so they don't want to be the person that is kind of, just the admirer from afar. They don't want to stay in that secret admirer energy, although they're heavily fixated on you at this time. There's a lot that is kind of motivating them to just take a chance, take a leap of faith, do what they need to do in order to create space within their life and in their reality in order for a potential, rebirth in the connection between the two of you, not just to happen, but to really kind of take root and thrive. Also say it feels like something is missing without you around. So this is definitely the energy of this is not an out of sight, out of mind connection. This person might have tried to kind of block you out. They might have blocked you on social media, blocked your number, deleted pictures and conversations, text messages, all trying to kind of like outrun the feeling of like vulnerability, the memories that you'd shared with one another. They tried to push you out of their conscious reality, and it didn't work. They've been drawn back to you like a moth to the flame. And there's a sense of almost feeling like, I can't believe that I pushed you away when you're like the best thing that happened to me, and you keep getting better with time. So this is somebody that's like running to catch up with you. They're doing a lot of heavy lifting at this particular point in time in order to align with this empowered version of you so that you can have a more empowered future with one another. We also have, you really are the best thing that has ever happened to me. So it feels like you motivate this person to come out of their comfort zone in a way that they have never experienced before. This is someone that may be very stubborn, very like set in their ways, very much like it's my way or the highway. They may have been someone that was operating very much in the ego. Even if they had kind of cultivated a sense of discernment, they had raised their own standards in the aftermath of some kind of like heartbreak or, connections where they were kind of lowering themselves down, they were settling, they were stooping, and instead of kind of like demanding better for themselves, that might have almost been like too rigid of a standard, that when they encountered you, there was a need to kind of grow beyond the comfort zone, but they were holding fast to certain like rules that they had made for themselves. This is exactly what I'm looking for. It's got to be this way. I'm not going to entertain cheap people or, kind of lower myself and just allow anything in like I had done before. And this is somebody who feels like they misjudged you in the situation, or, again, that kind of like rigid thinking in the past. They're able to see clearly now that the change that was required, movement outside of the comfort zone, it wasn't a matter of you trying to get this person to lower their standards, but it was like, get up, we're moving on from here. We're getting up out of this place. We're getting up out of this vibration. There's, possibilities to kind of, again, rise into love as opposed to falling in love, that it was hard for them to kind of distinguish and differentiate where they were just clinging to like this status quo they had created for themselves, which it feels like they're looking at, they deprived themselves of the opportunity for beautiful experiences with you, or how they handled the sense of overwhelm in the past. There's a lot of regret as far as that's concerned. So this is somebody that wants to come back around and show you that they're a little more flexible, they're willing to compromise. They're doing the work to kind of meet you on your level, not so that it's kind of like, okay, let's have, like a higher vibrational experience. Let's kind of, have an elevated encounter with one another. But it's a sense of like, I'm taking the time to grow and evolve so that, like I want to hit the ground running with you, and the sky's the limit as far as who we can grow into as people individually, but also in the context of a renewed connection with one another. And we also have, my nerves have been getting the best of me. Yeah, so it feels like this person, you may be sensing them in your energy, kind of like coming in very intensely. There could be a lot of signs and synchronicities sort of pointing to their reemergence. And a part of you is like, okay, I'm bracing for impact. Here they are. I'm gonna hold my ground. I'm gonna keep my standards high. I'm gonna let this person sort of prove to me that it's worth my while to give them another chance. And then the energy goes cold again, and you're like, well, what happened? Forget the signs and synchronicities. I'm not seeing any action here in the material world. So this may be something where your wall is up very high. Your discernment is very sharp. This person has a very kind of steep mountain to climb in order to reach that place of being able to face you directly, communicate these things out loud. And there's a sense that they know, like, whatever might have been acceptable in the past, whatever that point of entry entry into your reality might have been in the past, it's like you've changed the locks, you've changed the combination. You keep growing and evolving. You're in a season right now where they see that you are thriving. And so this holds them to a very high standard as far as what they come in with initially, and also what they're able to kind of bring forth consistently, where they're putting a lot of pressure on themselves to perform, and maybe even kind of fighting with themselves, fighting their own demons that kind of, tell them like, you're not good enough, it's not going to be good enough, it's too little too late. And they're trying to push beyond that pessimism and just take a chance on this situation. Have I do pray about us. So they've definitely maybe sought some advice from outside parties. They've done a lot of introspection, a lot of soul searching. It's the energy of the vision quest. The signs and synchronicities, it feels like, are very obvious. It's very simple for this person to understand. Take a step towards this person. Speak your truth. Say you're sorry, open up those lines of communication. But this is somebody that's kind of like, maybe those signs and synchronicities are a little too clear. It's a little too simple. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it's just a trick and I move back towards this person and, then I get rejected. I get discarded. I get a taste of my own medicine. So there's a sense that they're going every which way as far as this is concerned. There are days when they are very confident and days when, they sort of pull back into themselves and they're like, oh, I don't know if this is like overstepping a boundary. I don't know if this is just gonna, kind of end up in a real disastrous sort of way. I don't know what I should do. So this is something where they're trying to sort of steady their nerves. They're trying to kind of listen to their heart, not let their overactive imagination or worst case scenarios sort of trip them up in this circumstance. There's a big urge to move towards you. They are compelled towards you. They're magnetized towards you. They're very attracted to you at this time. And so it feels like it's a huge challenge for this person at this point to continue to put one foot in front of the other and move in closer. We also have I'm speaking through songs. So it feels like this person is trying to kind of like manifest a fresh start with you by listening to like romantic songs, or for some this is even like songs of empowerment, that kind of like build the ego up in a very healthy manner. They want to come in like the knight in shining armor and save the day as far as this situation is concerned. So they're trying to get into that mindset, into that vibration. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna knock on that door. I'm gonna send that message. I'm gonna make that phone call. I'm gonna present myself, and whatever happens, happens. Whatever doesn't happen, doesn't happen. And so this is like pushing themselves beyond that comfort zone because they miss you. They love you. They want to be with you. They want to be near you. They want to try again. Yeah, and we also have telepathically communicate with me. So it feels like this person is rehearsing what they want to say and kind of like they're everywhere in their own mind and in their own heart. And you may be picking up on a bit of that, kind of the idea of like energy flows where attention goes. You are a central focus for them at this particular point in time. And so there's an energetic bridge, which it feels like very strongly connects the two of you, that this person on some level is aware of. And that may also be something that they're trying to tap into, that current, into this kind of like strong desire. No matter how much they've tried to block this out, push this away, kind of live in that land of denial for as long as they have, they can't ignore the fact that you have made a profound impact on them. You have affected them emotionally and as a person in a way that is unlike anything they've experienced ever or in a long time. And this is the energy of somebody who's like, I couldn't forgive myself if I did nothing about this. I couldn't forgive myself if I just sort of let this opportunity pass me by. So anything that you may feel in terms of, a shift within the energy between the two of you, this definitely can signal that this person is now at the place of, putting action behind sort of the words and intentions that they've been scripting inside to be able to take that chance and kind of just lay it all out on the table and see, will you have them at this point in time? Is their arrival or reemergence in your life, is that enough to get you to open up your heart, to hear them out, to entertain the possibility of trying again? So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you'd like a personal reading, there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another video. Please take care and be well.